that we are hosting. I can say this: the United States continues to recognize Juan Guaido as the interim president of Venezuela. That said, while the interim government was not invited to participate in the main summit, they are welcome to participate in all 3 stakeholder forums and other events.
Is the president now getting more directly involved in the negotiations on the Hill now that he's met with Senator Murphy?
Well, I want to be very clear here. Senator Murphy has said this many times during interviews on various networks here, that he believes it's time for the Senate to act, and that is what they're doing. The president is encouraged about what he is seeing with this team of negotiators on the Senate side, and he is, like I said, encouraged and wants to continue to see them move forward and take action.
And in the meeting with Matthew McConaughey, did McConaughey go through the same elements with the president that he did here at the podium?
Well, they had a private conversation. I'm not going to read out their private conversation. As you can imagine, the president went to Uvalde himself. He also met with many of the family members. He also heard many of the stories that Matthew came here to share with all of you. So they certainly connected on that aspect.
Thanks, Craig. Is the president willing to accept whatever agreement lawmakers come to, should they come to an agreement when it comes to guns?
So as you know, the president has been very involved in gun reform as senator, as vice president, and clearly now as president, having signed the most executive actions on gun reform than any president at this time of their presidency. And when he was senator, he was talking about this today. It took him years. It took him years to get the 1994 assault ban legislation. Now that was law for 10 years and expired in 2004. And so we haven't seen this type of negotiations or this type of coming together from both sides in a very long time. It's been decades. So he is encouraged. He is optimistic about what he's seeing, about what he is hearing, the update that he received. And so we're going to see how those negotiations go. And any step, he believes any step is a step forward. He's going to continue to call for all of the things that you heard him lay out when it comes to what he sees as a comprehensive gun reform on Thursday. But he also believes that any step forward is important. Clearly, we're not going to negotiate from here, and we're going to leave the specifics to the senators.
And one other question: does he still seek to make Saudi Arabia a pariah state?
Well, I spoke to this yesterday, and I could share some more thoughts on that now. But look, the president was very clear when he was asked about this on Friday when he was delivering his remarks on the economy. And basically, he said, as president, he believes that if there is any way to get peace, he feels like he should take that direction. So Saudi Arabia has been a strategic partner of the United States for 8 decades. Every president since FDR has met with Saudi leaders, and the president considers Saudi Arabia an important partner on a host of regional and global strategies, including other efforts to end the war in Yemen, contain Iran, and counterterrorism. Saudi pilots flew with ours in the war against ISIS. Its Navy patrols with ours in the Red Sea and the Gulf, and the U.S. military personnel are based in Saudi Arabia. As I've said, the president will meet with any leader if it serves the interests of the American people. That's what he puts first. He believes engagement with Saudi leaders clearly meets that test, as has every president before him. I'm going to move around. I'm going to move around. I'm going to move around. I'm going to really. Okay, I'm going to take one more. I'm Caitlin. I'm going to take one more.
Just on these negotiations, if changing background checks for younger people than 21 is what ends up happening, if opening these juvenile records to more scrutiny is what comes of this, does the president believe that that is meaningful change? Is that satisfying? If that's what comes of this moment, is he okay with that?
So the president was clear last week that there's real urgency. and to make sure something like Uvalde or Buffalo and many mass shootings prior can't happen again. And we're encouraged again by the progress that we're seeing. You know, we're going to stay closely engaged. We're going to not negotiate from here. We're going to let the contours of the legislation and those conversations play out. And what we are encouraged by is that the conversation is happening. Both sides are coming together. We saw the House taking some actions last week. They also will take some actions this week. What the president believes is that we have to do something. And like he said on Thursday, enough is enough. Okay.
Deal by the end of the week.
I can't speak to the timeline. That is going to be up to Senator Schumer and Chris Murphy and their conversations that we're having.
Can you say something on the economy?
Guys, we need a longer break.
Can you do it?
In-house media and pre-credentialed media, please gather at the palm room doors immediately. In-house and pre-credentialed media, please gather at the palm room doors immediately.